Number 99, Cameron Powell will kick off. For the Patriots, that's the motion praise on the umpire. And number
99,
first and 10 at midfield. No gain on the play, second and 10 for the Patriots at midfield. Tickets online now. Enroll to your school website or ticketmore.com/FAISD. Skip the lines. It's mobile friendly. Come on home. Make it easy on yourself. Get your tickets online. ticketmore.com/FAISD. Number 99, Cameron Paulus at the kickoff for the Patriots. Yes, number 3, Sabia Perez, and number 10, Marcus Gonzalez. Possession for the 42-yard line. Taking the 12. First down. Takes it all down inside the help spot here. Second and 2. He inside the 5. He's in touchdown and victory for the Patriots. The Bucks 0. That been the first half. And the Bucks take down across their own 35, first and 10 Lanier, from their own 35. Tackle on the court. Clear the leaves. Gain of a yard. Second and 9. Bucks from the 136. line is called incomplete. Brings up 3rd and 11 for the Wolves. 31-36. 3rd and 9. Ricky Torres on the carry. Picks up 7 on the play, 4th and 2 Bolts. The final call is 43 yards. The 22-yard line. Texas will begin 1st and 10 from their own 22 with 3:42 left in the first half. Gain of a yard on the play, 2nd and 9 Patriots. From their own 23. That's a fire quarterback. Penalty flag on the field. On the carry, number 21, Jacob Alexis. Holding, number 38 in the offense. Lanier to line to Kennedy. 3rd down at the 45-yard line. On the carry, number 21, Jacob Alexis. Brought down the line of scrimmage, little game on the play, 4th and 7 Patriots from their own 25. Number 99, Cameron Caldwell. Then the punt goes out of bounds at the Bucks 49 with 1st and 10 through 49 with 1:53 left in the first half.
Okay.
Looks like handoff puts the ball across midfield into Patriots territory. Gain of 3 on the play, second and 7 Moats. At the Patriots 48. Walker, the quarterback, number 16, in the left lead. Takes the ball down to the Patriots 45. 3rd and 4 votes at the Patriots 45.
That is your 3rd and 5 timeout of the first half.
And the Patriots 45.
Defense, number 6, 95. The yardage is sufficient for a first down.
First and 10 votes at the Patriots 40. Quarterback sack. Well, that's the end of the first half of the game. Let's for the shows. Patriots 42 to 0.
Nationwide, Captain Toyota is the #1 dealer in pre-owned and certified Toyota products. We don't ourselves, but what makes us #1 in the nation? It's the way we treat you. Visit CaptainToyota.com and see firsthand how we make confidence happen every day. That's why for over 75 years, confidence is Captain Toyota.
We have a
15 minutes working out just for you. 15 minutes for you.
2, check, check. Microphone check, 1, 2. 1, 2. Check, check, check. Check, check, 1, 2. 1, 2, check. Talent mic, channel 2 headset. Microphone check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. 1, 2, check, check. Talent audio, check, check. Check, check. Check, 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 1, 2. Check, 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 1, 2. Huh? Oh, no, I'm just telling what's going on. I don't. Okay, so well, I think possibly. Well, okay, so there's one on that camera, like just as a handout. Yeah. Well, there's this one here. Don't you get for nap sound? Yeah. Well, okay, so check, check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Check. Check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Check, check. Check. Check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Microphone check.
Everything else was like, what?
Check. Check 1 2. 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. 1 2. Check 1 2.
Hello?
No, it's just me.
Okay, good. That's good. Glad it's just you. Keep getting a phone number from different places like that in Texas.
Yeah, I was gonna say you would have no clue.
So we're using the headset and the stick, right?
I believe so.
Cool. P-A-R-T-Y. So you have to hold the stick, sorry.
It's you got like 5 jokes about that, but it's
So
okay.
next week I'll bring up my mixer and I'll bring headsets.
Oh, it's okay. I have another headset I can bring too.
I mean, it's sitting in the car. I just didn't know to bring it in. But I was like, oh no, everybody's coming. This is why it's really hard when people show up. Avoidable thing. I was just reading about something like this too. It's like, if you have to type your stuff out at a certain time, you're gonna get hosed. I was like, come on.
Yeah.
That's crap.
That's just the way it is, man.
Yeah. So hey, how did some of that extreme sports stuff work out for you last spring? I know you said you were gonna do something like, I don't know, what kind of wrestling it was, but it was like they were talking about that esports. Did you end up doing any of that stuff?
No, I didn't do any esports. I tried. You?
I chose not to. They asked me if I wanted to, and I told them no. I also got asked to go do something actually in Austin for a couple of games. We were down in the Bahamas in August. But they wanted us to call it off of a TV monitor in their studio.
Oh, you mean Flow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did those games.
Did you?
Yeah.
How was it?
Check 1 2.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
You do it by yourself? Or they give you somebody to do it?
Most of the time, you'll do some events like that by yourself, but that one they flew in people and stuff. Like they had people like from Arizona, New York, like guys that have done like D1 stuff come in and do it.
That's awesome, man.
Like the guy I worked with, he's from New Mexico. He was like the voice of the Lobos. So I guess that's just New Mexico University.
Yeah.
For a while in Albuquerque, and they didn't renew his contract this year, but he came in and he
The
did
old guy?
Yeah,
I know the guy.
I think his name's Scott or something like
Yeah,
that.
he was not a happy camper.
No.
He's pretty pissed. He had asked me for you to do, but it would be color, and
Yeah.
he's not doing Division 2 crap. So.
No. Yeah. No. He sounded good though.
Yeah, he's got a good on here.
He has a good voice. Yeah.
Just let us know when you guys are ready for us, okay?
I mean,
I think we're gonna be talking the second half, so.
maybe.
Check 1 2.
Just feel bad for
Check.
Mike. He's the one
Check
who had to do more work than he
1 2
was expecting to.
1 2 3.
Yeah. I think they got good information. Good?
1 2 3. Check.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Basically. Which side do you want? You want this side? That side?
I'll take the last. And since there's multiple scoreboards, it won't matter too much.
True.
Welcome back to the field, the San Antonio Vincent Memorial Patriots.
I mean, the very top on the third floor is really nice.
Isn't it nice up there?
Yeah. I was like, wow, you get a nice view.
Yeah, the view up there is unbelievable. This ain't bad.
No.
That's That's the only camera we're using tonight, right, guys?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be you and I, and somebody's gonna be standing in between us. From the Vokes, the mighty Vokes.
What were you guys called in high school?
It was a Mustang.
Huh?
Mustang.
What? Say it again?
We were the Ralston Valley Mustangs.
Oh, the Mustangs.
Yeah,
Okay.
the horses.
That's better than being called the Redskins.
Yeah. Well, I played for them, and then I played for Crusaders.
Oh, Crusaders.
Crusaders for the last. Because I went to a different school my senior year.
Oh wow.
So.
Couldn't imagine changing schools as a senior.
You know, it wasn't a bad thing. It was just like, it was probably good for me because I was actually ready to quit high school and just go start working.
I hear that.
So. All right, so can we squeeze down in between you guys? Is that the plan? Are you both gonna be down there, or?
Well, one of us can be there.
Yeah, one of you guys will be there.
I don't know, man. You want me to just try it from up here? It'll probably be way easier.
You know what? Yeah, I think we could do that, guys. We'll stay up here. You guys want to stay down there? You just hand us some stuff up.
Yeah, if you just hand me the things that are on the counter.
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
no worries.
We can probably make that work if everything's
Is this
long
your
enough.
bag?
Yeah,
Is
it
this
is.
your bag?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it back here.
Throw it off.
It's all good. I don't plan on saying too much. Thank you.
And then what's to your left?
None of Andrew's stuff though. You know, it's not important.
Yeah, I know. Here you go, by the way. Sharp, thank you. All right.
Okay. Great.
And as I say, look, you probably lost that one.
The Patriots will receive the second half kickoff back deep for the Patriots. Number 1, Maitland Jackson. Number 9, Simeon Woodard.
Do you have cord for this monster?
And number 12,
Remind
Darius
me.
Smith.
Sadly, I'm not sure because when I plugged it in,
Didn't work?
I got a level, but it was
Set
just
to
like a
kick off for
consistent
the Votes.
sound.
Number 88,
Like-
Malachi
When
Cassiano.
I plug it in directly,
Yeah.
it
It's
can see
working.
the levels,
Okay.
and the same with that. Then when I plug it in with the cord, it was acting. No one said anything, so I don't know if it worked or not.
So should we just start?
Oh, we jumped over the tackle. Yes.
Kicks the kickoff, brings it out past his 40-yard line. Patriots will begin their first offensive possession in the second half. First and 10 from their own 41.
Alright. Hopefully we'll get some levels and something out of this.
It'll work out.
And hopefully it won't pull on the camera too bad. Test, test, test. Everything's working good, guys. Alright. I guess we'll fire it up. Huh?
Yeah, man, just take it as you normally would.
I got injured player, so
Officials time out on the field.
bad shot.
Halftime score from Rutledge, Wagner 28, Sam Houston 6. Another halftime score, Smithson Valley 27, Madison 0. From Ferris, Taft 19, Clark 7 at the half. And at Gustafson, we've got Brennan 27 and John Jay 6 at the half. Once again, SAISD would like to thank our sponsors, Cavender Toyota, Alamo College's Trinity University, SAISD Foundation, and Whataburger. We thank you for your support of high school athletics.
And a good Thursday evening to you. Welcome on out here to the Rock Pile here at Alamo Stadium. I'm Andrew Stossmeister. Justin Simmons, kind enough to join me here tonight. I know we're getting everybody caught up. We thank those of you for hanging with us in our technical difficulties. We are 19 seconds into the third quarter. It's a fast-moving first half with the Veterans Memorial Patriots in the white jerseys tonight. They've had a big night offensively. They are not going to play their starters very often, I don't believe, here in this second half. It is second down and 7. Shotgun snap to the quarterback, Isaac Barrera, the backup. He sprints through, and look out, Barrera can run. He's got a first down all the way down to the 32-yard line. We watched him running that first half, Justin, pretty darn well. And, you know, he's a guy that can move all over the field for the Patriots.
Well, yeah, you were talking about a quick first half of play. It was also quick scoring. It didn't matter if it was the first, second, or third team in there. As soon as they had the ball in their hand, they had an idea of where they wanted to go, and they were able to execute to get points on the scoreboard.
6 straight possessions of touchdowns for the Patriots. They've got a 42-0 advantage. We're just underway, a minute plus here into this third quarter. Pick up on the play, big one. First and 10 from the 30-yard line. Just a little pass out. They've got Balin Jackson inside the 20, 15, 10, 5. See you later for 30 yards as Balin Jackson able to find the end zone once again. Struggled a week ago, but that's his first touchdown of 2019. There's a penalty flag, though, back around the line of scrimmage. But you can see that kid's got some quick moves, number one in white.
Well, I asked you before the game even started, is it Balin? Is it Ballin? Because he's definitely balling after that touchdown. Another score to put the Patriots up pretty much out of punching distance at this point here in the second half of play. But good offensive play as the referees giving us the signal for the penalty, and this one's actually going against the Patriots.
Yeah, that time they had an eligible man downfield. Might have gotten alignment a little too far forward, so that would wipe off the touchdown. They'll move it back somewhere. If you're just catching up, again, as we mentioned, touchdowns early and often. There were 3 of them in the first quarter, 3 in the second quarter. All 6 possessions resulted in scores for Veterans Memorial. They averaged 11.2 yards per play. And, you know, this is a team that in week 1 they averaged 9 yards. A week ago, a loss after putting up 41 points and 500-plus yards of offense. They averaged 7 yards a play. They have not let up here tonight, Justin.
No, and it doesn't matter who they're facing. Again, you're thinking this is one of the first games of the season for them, one of the first games of district play. But more importantly, they're trying to get back to the playoffs like they did last year and have much more success than they did in their inaugural season of varsity football.
Absolutely the case. Jason Lazo, the ball carrier, he started the game, and he got off to a good start. 69 yards in the first half, 2 rushing touchdowns. He carries that one for 3 yards before he's hitting the middle linebacker. Max Quintanilla, Adam Alvarado both in on the stop. Second and 7, 10-17, clock moving here in this third quarter.
And it's been all QB read option on this drive thus far.
They've done that a lot here tonight. Veterans Memorial, again, their starting quarterback not in the game right now, has had himself a nice first half. This time, Barrera again, a little razzle-dazzle across the 20. There he goes, 10-5 end zone. That play will count, 28 yards on the score. And do it all back. Isaac Barrera, who plays slot back when he's not the QB, gets into the end zone from 28 yards away.
Well, Andrew, I definitely can see why. He had those quick feet right in the hole, right when he was going to get met up with the defender. His juke was able to freeze the defender right in his tracks, and then a little stiff arm to get some distance, and then it was pure speed all the way to the end zone for another touchdown on the big scoreboard here from Alamo Stadium.
Cameron Caldwell with the extra point is up, and it is good. And you look at this Veterans Memorial team, like you mentioned, Justin, a year ago, that was their first varsity season. They go on, not only do they have a great year 1, they go to the playoffs, they win a playoff game. They stuck up on so many people last year. Not going to be the case as much here, certainly in 2019.
Oh, and you're definitely correct on that assessment, my friend, because everybody didn't know anything about them. They just were able to kind of get their wins, keep on changing the focus of what people perceived of them, and then, like you mentioned, we're able to get that big playoff win. And again, a first-year varsity program in the state of Texas, at a high level of high school football, you hardly ever see winning seasons, let alone seasons that get you to the playoffs and, more importantly, win a playoff game. That's impressive.
I mean, it was a huge deal a year ago. You know, you come out, you have a great year, number 1. On the other side, this Lanier Volk team, they're in the gray jerseys, the white helmets here tonight, trying to rebuild with Don Gatton. And for Coach Gatton, you know, he's the longest tenured coach in the district, District 13. This is a district game tonight. And, he's hoping he can get things turned around. He's been playing young guys each of the last 2 seasons, but he came into this game having 7 returning starters back on defense, but already by game number 3, 5 of them are out and trying to just build from here.
And that's the most difficult thing for any head coach, is to make those adjustments player personnel-wise throughout the season. It's not because you necessarily want to make those changes per se. It's just sometimes injuries, grades, little things that you can't foresee pop up during the season.
Well, hesitation in the end zone, going to come out anyway. A lot of courage out there coming as Ricky Torres, who has been returning kicks primarily, waited back. Instead, it was Marcos Almendares who brings it out to the 18-yard line. And field position tonight for the Vokes, that's been a challenge as well. They started out pretty well their first couple of drives, had a 48-yard return to open the football game, but offensively only a few first downs at all here tonight.
Unfortunately, the regular marquee for the evening for the Vokes has been 3 and out offensively. Maybe they'll have a little bit more success with their first drive of the second half.
Just 2 first downs, 1st and 10 from their own 18-yard line. They head towards the south end zone here at Alamo Stadium. Small crowd on this Thursday night as the handoff from Rocco Medina goes to the right side. Just that little zone read and big tackle in the secondary. There are some dudes out there that can really get after folks. And, you look at it for Richard Mendoza now in the second season. He's been with the program 4 years. He's got a Judson background, which means defense is really the calling card for him. And his guys bring all of that and more.
Oh, and they were quick to get to the line of scrimmage and took away the end. The running back had nowhere to go, and it's great to see open field tackling, especially from defensive backs like that, as Christian Garibay was the man that was able to put the hit on.
It's called 2nd down and 6, following the gain of 4 that time from the tailback, switching off to the right side of Medina. Did not see Fabian Maciel play at all in that first half. Confusing for Medina as he keeps across the 27 to the 28-yard line. That's about near the line to gain. It'll bring up 3rd down and 1. Again, that first half for the Vokes, only 2 first downs. Struggled to pick up a lot of yards offensively. And this Veterans Memorial defense, man, they are stout.
Yeah, you have to wonder how Medina is feeling so far. I mean, he's been asked to be the leader of this Vokes team in the first half of play. Maciel is always on the sideline. Hasn't come into this contest. A lot of questions on that and never really got an answer as to why. But considering that he's already thrown an interception, his team has just been reeling. Let's see what Medina can do with the ball in hand.
They ended up moving the football to the 28. It is a first down, so 1st down and 10. Medina out of the shotgun, turns, he'll keep the ball, and white jerseys there to meet him at the line of scrimmage. That'll be a no-gain play, and that's where Veterans Memorial has lived most of the night. Nick Carson is in on the tackle. Veterans Memorial comes in 1-1. They're coming off a loss a week ago at the hands of Bernie Champion. Shootout variety. They lost 54-41. There were 1,000 yards of offense in that football game.
You weren't joking when you were talking about high-scoring affairs against that game in Bernie Champion. Those are 2 good teams, though, in the state, close in that San Antonio area. I'm sure they might see each other again come playoff time.
Yeah, it's certainly a possibility. 2nd and 10 from the 28-yard line. Clock at 7:37 and ticking. Patriots with 7 touchdowns on the board that have yet to be answered. Shotgun snap to Medina. He ducks inside the 35-yard line. Nice little run by the quarterback. Medina is a senior. He gains 8 on 2nd and 10. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2. You look at the Vokes. They have not won either of their first 2 games this season. Played really well last week on the road at Pleasanton, but gave up 21 points in a row in the 3rd quarter and then a touchdown to start the 4th quarter. Really just took themselves right out of that game before losing 49-33.
Well, they had a slow 2nd quarter, unable to get any points on the board, but in the second half of play, much improved. Defensively was very strong. And offensively, they were able to put, I believe, 21 points on in the 4th quarter of play. We'll see if their offense can wake up a little bit here as we flow through the rest of this 3rd quarter.
3rd down and a couple. Looking for their first conversion of the night is Medina. He hands the football off sideways to his right, and there he is, Maciel getting in for a carry, and he'll have a 1st down. He needed 2. He gets 4, and the sticks will move for the first time here in the second half for the Lanier Vokes. 0-2 on the season. Again, this is the district opener for both teams, a district that is heavily favored by Wagner, but I know Veterans Memorial hopes that they can be right in the mix this year.
Yeah, I mean, this really has been a 2-team district to say the least, but those spots for 3 and 4, they can be anybody's spots. You just have to make sure you're playing your best game on any given Friday, Thursday, Saturday, what have you.
Whatever day it is, yeah. I mean, these 2 teams are having to play on a short week. This is pretty common for the Volks. We'll talk about that. If that snap barely gets to the quarterback, Maciel on the handoff is in the backfield. Kifa Pereira meets him first. The sophomore nose guard is in. It'll be a loss of 1 yard, bring up 2nd and 11. But, you know, you talk about that with this district, Justin, with where it's at. You know, Veterans Memorial and Wagner are at the front, but the next few teams, Sam Houston's in there. You wonder where Brackenridge is at this year, Burbank, Thomas Edison. I mean, this is going to be a clump of teams that are going to be fighting, but also who can kind of make it past these two big guys.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get a win against a team like Wagner or Memorial, you're going to be doing pretty good for the rest of the season. But you have to go in thinking that, you know, those 2 games might be a wash, but the rest of the district slate is definitely a possibility where you can get some W's.
Remember, got to get into the top 4 bracket to make the playoffs. Again, district play beginning here tonight for these 2 teams. As Medina, the longest he's had all night to throw, and he rolls to his right, looks downfield, gets hit as he throws the football, and that is incomplete. Look out, Simeon Woodard has had a big night. He has an interception that he took back, nearly took it back for a pick 6. That pass intended for Preciado, incomplete.
Yeah, it looked like Zion Williams was the one that took the brunt of that hit, and give the kids credit. We're about midway through the 3rd quarter play. This game seems to be well out of hand, but don't tell that to the Patriots players. Those reserves that are currently on the field, they're flying around like it's the first half of play. And you have to remember that these kids that might not necessarily be the starters, they're looking to gain some playing time here.
Yeah, playing time, your opportunity, all of that in front of you. 3rd down and 11. The Volks need right at midfield. Nose of the football at the 39-yard line, working left to right. Confusion in the formation, and with 3 seconds left, a timeout will be burned out by the Lanier Volks. 5:42 to play. We're in the 3rd quarter. We're going to go ahead and take a 60-second timeout. Patriots 49, Lanier Volks nothing. This is big game coverage on KSAT.com.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
.42 to play following the timeout. It's 3rd down and 11. Lanier taking the timeout. Trying to get to midfield for the first time tonight. They have had some issues, but they did just convert on 3rd down moments ago. 3rd down and 11. 3 down linemen as players moved early. Flags do not fly. Rocco Medina rolls to his left, gets hit. He throws and into Patriot territory inside the 44-yard line. Nifty little play over there on the edge made. That time as Almendarez comes up with it, 1st down.
And that was a great pass to get the completion right over the middle. We saw that he threw that interception early in the 1st quarter of play. That seemed to have kind of chipped away at his confidence a little bit, and glad to see that he was able to get some of that confidence back here in the 2nd half.
Yeah, Rocco Medina in that 1st half really struggled as a passer. Did not officially complete a pass to his team. He was 0 for 3 through an interception. 1st down and 10. Following the pickup of 12 yards. First time again, the folks in gray have had it inside of Veterans Memorial territory. Turn left, handoff up the middle, and look at that, 3 defenders at the line of scrimmage in the backfield. Not much there. It'll be 2nd down and 10. And, you know, that's the thing that, you know, you look at for the other side of things. You know, your Veterans Memorial, you have 49-0. The game is in hand. But, you know, like you said, those younger guys, you know, you just missed on a play. Now you got to get back up for the next one.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about these young guys defensively. If you're Veterans Memorial, they're still going to be flying in each and every time. You just saw in the last play, they had 3 men all around the football. And the other thing is that their defense has switched to a straight-up man-to-man defense, showing no respect for anything that can happen over the deep third, especially in the middle.
Not real big receivers to throw for Medina, and that's one of the things that, you know, the Volks are struggling with coming into tonight's game. 2nd down and 10 from the 44-yard line. As Medina keeps it, trying to break an arm tackle, and look out, here comes the cavalry to help out. Wrangled up first that time in the backfield by Kevin Saxon, the senior. That's a loss of 3 on the play to bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, that was a terrific open field tackle by Saxon. I thought that Medina was actually going to be able to break away from that tackle, but he hung on and used his momentum to swing around and take him down.
Well, you got to think about that for a guy like Kevin Saxon. You're backing up Seth Powell, who's the starter. Powell a week ago had a pick 6. You don't hear about that from defensive tackles very often.
Not very often, unless their name was Warren Sapp.
Right. Warren wasn't the fastest guy, though.
Oh, no, but he had wheels for a big guy.
I know, that's right. You know, he was in those big train packages that they would use. 3rd down and 13. Folks need to find the 34-yard line of Veterans Memorial. Rocco Medina to throw, steps up in the pocket. He is hit, and he is going down for a sack. Nick Carson, the first man there. It is a loss officially of 1 yard, and that has been a common thread here tonight. That is the 5th sack for the Patriots.
Yeah, congratulations to the defense. Again, utilizing what they've been taught all week and getting to the quarterback. But if you're the Volks, unfortunately, that was more of a coverage sack than anything else, just because everybody was covered downfield.
Well, that's been an unfortunate theme tonight for Lanier High School. They just haven't been able to get a whole lot going, and when they've fallen behind the sticks, they have not recovered at all.
Well, passing is not their forte, unfortunately.
Punts have been right at about 25 yards. This one is going to be cleared. Woodard has been returning. That time, that was the running back, J.C. Solitaire, who was back to receive. He stays away from it. And Veterans Memorial will have the football as they will take over at their own 15-yard line. Ended up getting a nice bounce out of that one.
That was probably one of the better punts that we have seen this evening for the Volks. And this is going to be some of the longest field that the Patriots are going to have to traverse to try to get to the end zone.
Open the game with a 5-play, 83-yard drive. This will officially start right at the 10-yard line. 1st down and 10. Following the 43-yard punt. We've seen Barrera play quarterback. He remains out there as that ball is handed off to the right side. Look out, trying to get Christian Sutton into the game, and look at Sutton go. He's up to midfield. He's trying to stay out tall down the sidelines, and Sutton will not be touched. 90 yards here in the 3rd quarter, and the Patriots are past this half-century mark as they score for the 8th time tonight.
Well, folks, remember, they're not trying to run up the score or be impolite, so to speak, here, but if you've been practicing all week and you've been the tackling dummies for the varsity, and finally you get a chance to come in and show your stuff, you're going to want to try to play your heart out and give the kid some credit. He got to the edge, saw that he had everybody beat, and then turned on the afterjets and was able to outrun everyone else.
Well, this is where you start talking about program strength a little bit, Justin, because you're looking at, with Veterans Memorial, a school that essentially popped out of the ground 4 years ago. They had problems naming it to begin with. Then they finally get a football team out. They played some JV games 3 years ago. Last year, they have their first varsity season, and suddenly you got 150 kids into the program buying into exactly what Coach Medina is talking about.
Well, it's easy to say that winning cultivates interest, and winning also cultivates success, obviously. And with more interest, more success will come. And congratulations to them and what they've been able to do over at Veterans Memorial, because like you mentioned before, seemingly out of nowhere, overnight, now the talk of District 13-5A Division I.
Yeah, it's certainly been impressive to watch as Coach Richard Mendoza got the call, to take over this program. Again, this is a Judson ISD school, so obviously a lot of people start to say, well, that's where, some of the premier football has been in the San Antonio area.
And that's safe to say as well. You think about the teams like Cibolo Steel, Converse Judson, their long forays into the 6A state playoffs back in the heyday when they were winning state titles back in 5A when that was the highest classification in the state. And Veteran Memorial is looking to possibly follow that path. And again, they've already started off with great success in their inaugural season, getting a playoff win. Maybe this year they get 2, maybe 3. You just never know.
Well, remember, this is the district that held a semifinalist in 5A last year in District 1 in Wagner, as they made a strong run to the semifinals. Cameron Caldwell has had himself quite the evening. A couple of touchbacks early in the game and really working on that height. That's right to the end zone. And coming out with it with a little bit of room this time is Apreciado as he gets across the 15-yard line and up to the 17 before he is is brought down. Special teams tackle made on that play by Samari Stevenson, the sophomore.
Yeah, give Preciado some credit. He's been fearless returning the ball here tonight. His blocking just really hasn't been there. And a lot of that has to just deal with the kickoff team for Veterans Memorial. They just fly to the ball.
Fast. I mean, if there's anything you talk to Coach Richard Mendoza about, he knows it. They are a fast group. And this is, again, we're seeing a lot of their seconds, their thirds. The guys that are here, we were talking about it kind of at halftime. You know, these two teams are playing freshman and JV games tomorrow. So, you know, there's not a lot of guys on the sidelines to play tonight because of that.
Yeah, there's little depth, especially for the Vokes, who are already suffering from some
injuries to start with, as you mentioned, as the penalty flag comes out. It's the right guard that time moving a little bit early. Also the tackle, and those are two guys that are supposed to be, you know, pretty good leaders, Jay and Jacob Reyes. They're talented, but they've had their hands full when they were guarding Dresden McIver Brown, who had 3 sacks, a couple tackles for loss on top of that in the first half. They're happy to not see number 6 in the second half.
No, but McIver Brown, I mean, he's getting a rest right now, but that kid, pure athlete, sideline to sideline, speed, power. We just saw him dominate in the very first quarter of this game, and I'm sure you'll see him again later on this year and during our coverage.
Yeah, he's huge, certainly. First down and a 5-yard loss back to the 14-yard line. Shotgun snap, Medina hands the ball off. Zone read will pick up the penalty yardage +2. Gain of 7 on the play before the tackle is made. Good job running low to the ground by the H-back, Angel Rodriguez. He's a returning player from last year's group.
Yeah, Rodriguez is going to be completely sore tomorrow, so I'm assuming an ice bath that is in his future either tonight or tomorrow morning. And that's no knock against the kid. He's been taking some hard carries. He's been going into contact, but it's one thing to take 1 or 2 players on, but he's taking on 4 or 5 at a time.
Riley Martinez on that tackle. It is second down and 9. Clock gets 80 seconds here in this third quarter. Patriots with 56 on the board that have yet to be answered. As the quarterback Rocco Medina takes it and runs into the teeth of Micah McNeil across the 30, making the 26-yard line. Pickup of 7 yards. It'll be third and a couple.
You know, Andrew, I would love to see the Vokes possibly go play action pass on a non-passing down. Maybe sometime in 2nd and long, maybe try to utilize that play action pass and see if you can freeze this defense, because we saw in the last play that the linebackers showing no remorse for anything that could possibly come over the middle. They have both backers blitzing, expecting that read option.
Yeah, you can tell that that's been really the only play tonight that has had success for Lanier. 2 conversions here in the second half in 9 tries tonight. Medina needs 2. He turns left. He'll hand the ball off, trying to get behind his left guard, and he should have a first down across the 28 to the 29. And both the linesmen look at one another, and that is a gain of 3 yards. And that's a major conversion, I think, for this Lanier offense.
Well, that's definitely one of those type of plays that the coaches will go back on the film and say, look, they're beatable if you run your techniques right, if you're at the spots we tell you, and if you go on the count we tell you to go on, you'll have some success. And like you were saying, that looks like it's going to be the end of the third quarter. I didn't mean to walk all over you on that one, my friend.
We'll take a quick timeout. 56-0 here at the end of 3 quarters. The Veterans Memorial Patriots of San Antonio, they lead the Lanier Vokes. You're watching Big Game coverage on KSAT.com. Back in 60 seconds.
KickerWar.com/SAISD. Get your tickets online. Skip the lines. They're mobile friendly. Print them out at home. Fast and easy. Tickets online.
Didn't mean to talk over. It's kind of hard to say stuff like formations and lineups don't really mean anything right now.
And we welcome you back to Alamo Stadium in San Antonio tonight for Big Game coverage on KSAT. I'm Andrew Stossmeister along with Justin Simmons. The Lanier Vokes have it first down and 10. They look for their first points on the night. They have given up touchdowns on 8 straight drives the other direction. Here's a little screen pass out to the edge, trying to get some space out there for Francisco Ortega. He takes a defender for a 4-yard gain. It'll bring up second down. But, you know, that's a good play, like you said. Get the ball outside and see if the Vogues can kind of get into their offense. They've been pretty slow at getting something going and, you know, just kind of getting outside of their norm of what they've tried to do.
And I was hoping that they've tried to be a little bit more creative with the playbook. Usually when you're going against a team that has more talent than yourself, you try to outsmart them, outwit them a little bit, but we saw them trying to run right at them for the first 3 quarters. Maybe they open up that playbook here in the fourth.
Just try to mix it up a little bit for Rocco Medina. Got a couple of completions in the second half after throwing a pick in half number 1. 2nd and 6. First 45 seconds of the fourth, and that's not going to be a positive play. That's a great job coming off the edge. Xavier Mitchell, Kiefer Pereira, both guys on the defensive line are in the backfield. Loss of a couple. They say it only goes back to the 30, but, you know, if I'm Richard Mendoza, the head coach of Veterans Memorial, I like what I'm seeing from the next group of guys.
Oh, you have to be excited with the depth that they have, at least from what they've shown in this contest. But that's just credit to the coaching staff and everything that they have preached during those 2-a-days, during the first week of practice, and here in the second week of the season, is that it's always the next man up. You just never know when you're going to get your time to shine.
Well, one of my favorite things about Coach Mendoza, he's a former quarterback for a Judson Rockets team that went to the state championship. They lost the game when he was the starter, but he's now their defensive coordinator. 3rd down and 9. Rocco Medina rolls right, looks to a man, and that's in and out of a would-be interception play. Pretty good coverage on the outside. Kevin Saxon had it in his paws and couldn't come up with it. It's 4th down.
And a solid job by the offensive line, though, to get Medina out of the pocket on that QB bootleg and to give him time to throw. But even better work by the secondary for Veterans Memorial. Like we mentioned before, they always seem to have 2-3 guys around the ball at any given time defensively, and we saw it again on that last play.
Well, you know, when we were talking pregame and before this was going, this is a difficult matchup. This week and next week are really hard weeks for Lanier. If they survive that, where does that put them? Because they've got some people that can make some plays. This is caught at the 39-yard line, and that is as far that time as the ball will go from Christian Garabee. Good special teams play made by the Vogues.
I mean, well, you when you have questions, you turn to the Bible. And when we talk about the Bible, when it comes to Texas high school football in the state of Texas, we talk about the Dave Campbell's Texas High School Football magazine. And usually their previews, they're pretty spot on. And out of this 9-team district, San Antonio Lanier picked to finish 6th. So they have players, they have talent, they obviously have the experience in the coaching staff. Can they put it all together, and can they, more importantly, get some of those players that are hurt back before the season ends?
Well, there's hope that they're coming back after the Wagner game. 3 starters out coming into tonight. Lost another player today at a pep rally. Just an unfortunate circumstances set up. 3rd-string quarterback getting out there for Veterans Memorial right now, and that tonight happens to be Alex Alva, the sophomore. And this is a guy that is yet to play it down here at the varsity level. This is big for him to get in.
Yeah, big time for any player to make their debut under the lights when it really matters. That's what the pep rallies are for. That's what everybody comes to see in your community, is to see you play on the varsity side.
This is a big stadium. We talked a little bit about that with Coach Gatton in his now 22nd season. All the history that is here. I mean, this is Alamo Stadium that, you know, so many people talk about visiting. You kind of just get that feel when you walk in. You and I had not been here before, but, you know, it's hearing about the way people have said, oh, you're going to Alamo tonight. That's awesome. This is a cool place.
Oh, it's a beautiful stadium. I was looking around at the architecture. It really takes you back to those classic old school Texas high school football stadiums that you just don't see anymore. You think of somebody like House Park over in Austin. This is right up there with them. I was walking around. You saw the San Antonio Quarterback Club with their memorials to some of the all-American football players that have come from San Antonio. One, Toby Nobis for UT Texas comes to mind.
Yep, there's a lot of names out there on that wall. It is 2nd down and 6. Football at the 44-yard line in the middle. As Alva, the quarterback, fakes it, he'll keep it up the middle. This has been the Veterans Memorial offense, and another chunk play here tonight. They're over 350 yards of total offense. They have backed it off a little bit, but coming into tonight, I mean, you look at the first-team guys and what they were doing, they're averaging high numbers offensively.
Yeah, everything is predicated off of the quarterback play. It doesn't matter who's in. They all seem to be able to run the offense smoothly.
Kiefer Pereira, the starting quarterback tonight, a couple of touchdowns rushing. Also had a passing touchdown. He has not played at all in this second half. He's going to be a fun one to watch for Veterans Memorial. Transfer from Clemens High School, out there in the Cibolo Shirts area. He has been very much improved from week 1 to week 2 now to week 3. This time the handoff is given up the middle, and again, you can see the next guy carrying it, that time with Rojas, who carried the football. He's got success as well, and this is, running back number 3, running back number 4 getting out there and carrying the ball tonight.
Yeah, strong run by Rojas. He stuttered right into the gap and then utilized his power to run right through the contact to pick up more yardage after the tackle.
9 yards, 56 points out there for the Patriots. The folks have been on the other side of the 50 once. It was on their last drive. Been a struggle for them tonight. Gave up 6 touchdowns in half number 1 in consecutive possessions. The game has slowed quite a bit for both sides here in this second half. Second down and a yard. Little draw play this time up the middle. Good block out there by the right tackle, Jared Capon, to spurn the first down. And that's where I look at it on this offensive line, talking with Coach Mendoza. He's got guys that can play, and some of his best players are young players, including Omari Wingate, who had a couple of pancake blocks in the first half. That time you get Jared Capon, a junior guard, one of the backups, getting a strong push off the right side of the line.
Yeah, and you saw Capon. He's actually coming out now to give way for some more of the younger players to come in and get some of that much-needed varsity experience. I mean, this is only the second game of the season, first one in district play, so a lot of the season left to go. You just never know. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Well, and you got to stay strong in these games. I mean, you obviously don't want to get anybody hurt ever, but particularly in this week, a lot of people still healing from their initial bumps and bruises, as the 1st and 10 carry goes for 5 yards up the middle. Jake Rojas with the carry, ran into the linebacking core before being brought down.
And you mentioned those bumps and bruises. For a team like Lanier, I mean, a little unfair to them, as they had to come in. Obviously, injuries part of the issue, but having to come in on a short week, not getting that chance, that extra day to rest, that's really going to wear on them here in this fourth quarter.
When I asked Coach Gatton about that, hey, how tough is it playing on Thursday nights? He said, Andrew, I played on Thursday 5 times a year ago. I'm not too worried about it. I think our kids are okay with it. They're doing it 4 times this season, and next week, they have another Thursday game.
Well, there's a difference between playing on Thursday nights and playing on Thursday nights with success.
Yeah, absolutely the case. Running sideways this time, and a little bit of space for Kevin Shaxson, who has a first down. Football pops out at the very end. There's a flag down. This is a play that I think should just be wiped out, because there were 2 holding penalties. Let's see if they called them both. They're in 2 separate spots. But
I don't know which of the second one is that you saw. The one that I saw was the defensive back on the outside with the wide receiver. I figure for sure they call that one.
Yeah, I think the wide receiver got turned around. I thought the right guard got turned around too. But strong carry regardless off the edge. And this is where, again, the game is in hand. If you're Veterans Memorial, you're playing young guys, but you're also still trying to get better and get valuable reps that can help in case players like this have to step in at some point or another later on this season.
Oh, I totally agree with you. And if you're Lanier in this case, you're trying to have plays that you could build upon tonight, that you can go back and when you look at this tape, say, hey, that was a great play there. Hey, everybody did their job there. See, we can be a formidable football team if we can put it together consistently for 4 quarters.
Chip Sartwell marching off the penalty yards. That'll move the football back around the 38-yard line, right out there. It looks like it will be. Got the 2 up on the down marker.
Really great looking down marker that they brought out here.
That's a sweet one. We're lucky. We don't see this one at this level too often, unless you go to some of the nicer stadiums, and Alamo Stadium, of course, certainly the case. Following the penalty, bring up 2nd down and 18. Okay, got an H back, the sniffer back to the left, and this time, once again, the quarterback, Alex Alva, the sophomore, keeps it as he picks up the penalty yards and a few more. Actually gets right there up to 10 yards and bring up a manageable 3rd down.
And you have to think, this is another thing for Memorial, as the Patriots, they don't want to give away too much on tape. So you're just going to see the most basic offensive sets for them here in the 4th quarter of play. And that's going to mean a lot of QB read option.
Well, and that's really been a lot of it here tonight. Not a lot of downfield throwing. We saw Kalik Paulette, the starting quarterback, roll out and throw a couple times. But game got away so fast, there's really no point, like you said, to show a whole lot. I mean, the Patriots, their season's going to get tougher. They've got a lot more people coming up, and as they continue through district play, as Alva on 3rd and 7 hands the ball off as Kevin Saxes bulldozes his way inside the 25-yard line. He'll be about 2 yards short of the line to gain. He picks up 5.5 yards.
I will say, though, I really appreciate the fighting spirit from the Vokes. They have not given up on this game, even though the score is well out of hand, as this defensive unit continues to fly to the ball. As we just saw in the last play, they had about 5 to 6 men around the ball for the tackle.
Kind of no man's territory. Veterans Memorial looks like they leave the offense out. Last tackle made out there, Cesar Flores. And you mentioned it, this group needs to find some cohesiveness because there are a lot of starters that are still playing. And this has been certainly a weakness so far in the first 2.5 games of the season. Play clock is at 3. Veterans Memorial at least is going to take the penalty yardage. And then potentially we'll see if they choose to punt. I mean, this is a long field goal try. Cameron Caldwell, I mean, the way we've seen him kick tonight, I wouldn't have anything wrong with trying.
No, he has the leg. The wind swirling up a little bit on this side going into the end zone on the stadium. I was going to mention, yes, I'm assuming that they're going to punt. You don't normally take a penalty 5 yards back to take a field goal, right? Well, I usually try to get closer to the line.
I wouldn't be surprised. They might take one more here. Just because.
That is a possibility as well, just to get a sky-high punt and work on those coffin corner kicks.
Alex Alva, the 3rd-string quarterback out there right now for the Patriots. He's keeping it. Again, not much of a fake, and a good push up there on the line of scrimmage by Taylor. He was the first man there. Also got some help on the backside as well. Anthony Garza. And it'll be a turnover on downs. And I know it's late in the game. It doesn't have much meaning to it, but that's a critical stop that helps out this Vokes defense. Hopefully tries to give us some more feel for next week.
Well, the beauty is of the Voke. I'm not sure if you know this, and for our fans at home, the Voke is a little gear within a big gear. So it's those little plays that will ultimately add up to big plays later on. At least that's what they're hoping. But great defensive work to get the stop on 4th down as the linebackers were flying off on the blitz to get the backside tackle.
Coach Gatton, that's what he has preached. That's why he's continued to stay at Lanier High School here in San Antonio. 1st down and 10, football at the 28-yard line. Rocco Medina has played quarterback throughout the evening. He remains there so far tonight. He's running laterally right now east to west. Not sure which way he can go as he breaks the 32-yard line. That's it, though, as far as he gets before Roman Torres meets him and brings him down following a gain of 4 yards.
Andrew, you saw on that play when he first started coming towards the near side of the field that he had plenty of room and daylight to work with, but the defense is so quick to react that they erase all those angles so quickly, and they force him out so wide that he's only able to stretch it for a 3-yard gain or so.
Well, and how often do they say it? As soon as you're the ball carrier, you stop your feet, that's it. I mean, you don't get any more. As soon as Medina stopped his feet, that's as far as he went. Clock at 2:43. It is 56-0. The Veterans Memorial Patriots here in San Antonio. A couple more minutes away from picking up their 2nd victory of the season. They're 1-1 on the year. Folks are going to at least have to wait another week. Veterans Memorial, the Patriots, next week, they will have Edison back at home. Again, their home games played at DW Rutledge Stadium. That's a fun place to play football games.
Oh, it definitely is. And Edison's going to be in for some trouble with this Memorials team if they come to play the way that they played here tonight.
Edison, Brackenridge, Sam Houston, Lanier, those all figure to be the next group of teams that are in this district. Again, remember, top 4 make it. Wagner and Veterans Memorial a year ago cruised right through it. Wagner went unbeaten. Veterans Memorial only lost 1 game. They won by an average of 29 points in district games. 3rd down and 3 yards to go. Quarterback Rocco Medina keeps it. He's got a 1st down to the 42-yard line. Nice play by the quarterback. And, that was good patience and 7 yards right up the middle for the 1st down.
He has showed a gutsy performance here tonight. He's been beaten. He's been bruised. He's had the interceptions, but he has continued to just throw his body with no remorse into the fray to try to pick up positive yards.
Sacked 5 times in this football game. Carried the ball 12 times in that first half, only at 2 yards. He's in the mid-30s now.
Would like to see if Lanier can run their 2-minute offense with just about a minute and change and see if they can get to the end zone here to give us at least a score on their end.
Only 1 trip tonight past the 50. Medina from his own 42-yard line turns left, and he does hand the ball off. And minimal gain there, that time by Angel Rodriguez. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. Evoke a little bit slow to get up. At 52 seconds.
It all has to deal tonight with that line of scrimmage when you're getting knocked back 2-3 yards into your quarterback and the backfield where they're trying to exchange the handoff. It's going to be hard to have success, and that's just how it's been defensively. Give them credit to Memorial as they've just shown their prowess to quickly eat up the gaps and quickly stretch out those edges.
Well, how exciting is it again for this Veterans Memorial team? You're at minute 48 and your linemen are still in the backfield. Obviously that's a backbreaker in many ways for the Vokes, but on the other side, I mean, this is second, third, and if there's extra guys that are playing that fourth team, they're still in the backfield as Medina on 2nd and 10 tucks it forward to the 45 for 3 yards. But I mean, you gotta love this team that doesn't quit. And for Mendoza, a guy that just never seems to let his guys slow it down. They will put the loss to Bernie Champion behind them. They pick up their second victory, another shutout. The Patriots did this with force and vengeance a year ago. They show up and they shut out the Vokes here tonight. Final score, 56-0.
Yeah, really impressive showing from Veterans Memorial. All the big-time players that we expected to see step up, they stepped up early in the first half, and that gave them an easy night as they were able to chill on the sideline, support their brothers in uniform as they came on and put on a good showing in the second half. Those second, third stringers putting on some positive performances. As for Lanier, the heart, the determination, and the grittiness was there. I saw it, and I love that effort. But they still need to be able to string together 2 to 3 positive plays on a drive to sustain some momentum and try to get past the 50-yard line. It was just a tough game tonight.
Yep, it was tough. And, you find teams, how do you respond after what happens? Both teams coming off of a loss, both teams coming in games they felt they could have won. But Veterans Memorial, as they did a year ago, they pitched 3 league shutouts. They start off district play with 1 here tonight. This is going to be a real good football team here in 2019.
They look solid again. Just last season was their inaugural year of varsity football, and to get a playoff win in the state of Texas, that's huge at any level. But to do it in your first season, that's downright amazing. Right now, they look well on their way to punching their ticket to another trip to the state playoffs.
Well, the Vokes, they've got to hurry up. They will be back in action here next Thursday night. We continue to have big game coverage for you, all kinds of it coming up this weekend on KSAT, but next Thursday we'll be back out there. We hope you will join us as Wagner and Lanier will play right back here at Alamo Stadium. Justin Simmons, it's a pleasure, buddy.
Oh, thank you again for having me along. Can't wait to be back next week for next week's game. It should be a fantastic time.
I'm Andrew Stossmeister. On behalf of our entire crew tonight, we're so glad to have you join us. The final score here tonight, 56 for Veterans Memorial, nothing for Lanier as they are shut out here in Alamo Stadium. This has been Big Game coverage on KSAT.com.